Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into the Winter 2021-2022 forecast verification from GavsWeatherVids. So at the beginning of December we release our forecast for Winter 2021-2022 after 3 months of epic winter updates. It's the most interesting season of winter updates I think that we've ever done at GavsWeatherVids. We looked at so many different elements. We came up with our forecast, which we released at the beginning of December, and now it is time to verify our forecast, just because we're well past the beginning of meteorological spring, so that was March 1st. So, you know, we release these forecasts and then we like to come back to them and verify them. Most forecasters don't do that, but we like to do that at GavsWeatherVids to see how we did and see what happened. So that's what we're going to do this video. I'll go through the stats in a moment, then I'll say how I think the forecast performed. Yeah, so if you enjoy the video, please can you give us a like, make sure you are subscribed to our channel, thank you so much. For doing that, thank you so much to Rich for the winter forecast gift. Thank you so much, Rich, for the gift. That's about as close as most of us got to snow this winter, though. So let's have a look at some data then, shall we? Thank you so much, Rich, for the gift. Right, so this is how temperature anomalies came out for winter 2021-2022 set against the 81-2010 average. You see that it was a very mild winter, especially so for England and Wales, with temperature anomalies around 1.5 to 2 degrees above average. Northern areas also really mild as well, around 1 to 1.5 degrees above average. If we compare it 61 to 1990, then we go over 2 degrees above average, because we don't use that one really now. And the more modern average, 91 2020, not quite as excessively mild, but even so significantly above average. All areas still above average, really, even set against 91 to 2020. So it was a very mild winter, one of the mildest winters on record, really, overall. If we could have a look at rainfall, see how we did with rainfall this winter, we see it quite variable. So southern areas had drier than average winter, as did many eastern northern parts of Scotland and some parts of eastern England. Conversely, though, western and northwestern areas had a little bit of a wetter winter, particularly around northwestern England, parts of Northern Ireland, and some parts of Wales. So it was quite variable, and I think we see generally wetter in the west, drier in the south and east, indicative of you know, quite a westerly type zone of winter. 91-2020 average, very little change on that. We have a look at sunshine. We can see that it was a sunny winter across eastern areas. It was a dull winter across more northern and western parts of the country. And yeah, we have a look at days of frost, see how that looks. So we haven't got anything to look at for days of frost. So yeah, you know, in terms of temperatures anyway, I was like, right, we'll just have a look at some snow, snow average, but it doesn't look like there is one there. So let's just quickly go back to that. So yeah, you know, it's a mild winter, very mild winter, and also a rather dryish winter in eastern areas and a wetter winter in western areas. Now, the forecast was for a cold winter. We went for potentially the coldest winter since 2009-2010. We predicted that we would likely have a cold January since 2010. Thought February would probably be quite cold as well. Maybe the coldest since 2010 or even 1996. You know, it's a very, very bold forecast, and clearly it completely busted. So that's what I'm going to get on the table. The forecast was a complete bust. Totally wrong. In fact, it couldn't be more wrong, to be honest. It was a very, very, very bad forecast, and you know, that's all I can say about it. It was a terrible forecast. You know, we released it. I know some people think that, like, we just released a forecast to try and get clicks and hits and whatnot. That was not the case. The data as we went along week by week was clearly pointing towards an increased chance of a cold winter. So when I came to do the forecast, I had two ways that I could go about. I could either completely disregard all of the data and go with a mild winter anyway, or go with what the data was taking us to. Now, you remember there was the two caveats, though. The particular caveat, the important caveat, was about the autumn weather patterns. We had a very warm September. Cold winters just do not follow warm September. So, we was risking it. You know, it was a risky forecast after a warm September to go for a cold winter. And just generally, the way the weather patterns stacked up through the autumn just didn't look like they were particularly indicative of you know, of the cold winter. So I could have gone with like the autumn data and offset teleconnection data like the QBO and that sort of thing. I could have just gone with like autumn data, and that was pointing towards the mild winter. We did say that, you know, in the forecast that it could go wrong due to how things are set up through the autumn. But we went with teleconnection data because I thought, but you know, we had so many things lined up to give us a cold winter. We was early in the solar cycle. We got the ECQBO descending, etc., etc. You go over the updates as we did, and you'll see how the teleconnection data very much stacked up towards a colder winter, but it just did not happen. So all I can do is apologise, you know, and say I'm very, very sorry that the forecast went wrong. It was released in good faith, as was the teaser winter idea. Some people think that, you know, with teaser winter, again, that's just about clicks and hits. It's not the case. I genuinely believe in the teaser winter idea that you get a slightly colder winter first and then you get an even colder winter second. I did say with that, but we would only know if 2020-21 was a teaser winter. We would only know that if a second winter came out colder. And it didn't. So clearly 2020-2021 wasn't a teaser winter. But I still believe in that idea. You know, I still think that that is a valid idea. I know so many people disagree with that, but the forecasts we release are always released in good faith. We do not try and just, you know, hype things up for the sake of it to get clicks and hits and whatnot. That is not the case. Anything that we release at GavsWeatherVids is released in completely good faith, and as was this forecast. So all I can do is like apologise for the forecast going wrong, and these things happen. You know, we had a pretty good run of forecasts through most of last year. The 2020-2021 forecast was quite good. The spring forecast wasn't too bad. Summer and autumn were okay, especially the autumn forecast. So we had quite a decent run, but you're only as good as your last forecast, and obviously the last forecast that we released was pretty bad. Now, I have been wanting to watch too about the long range, whether... well, just to say one thing that did go right, though, was the 50-50 Christmas. So we said Christmas was going to be like 50-50 between chance of being milder or colder. Actually, as it turned out, we finished up with a mild Christmas, but it was really on a knife edge. It was properly 50-50 with the Christmas. So that was the one thing that did go right, but once the mild weather set in after or around just after Christmas, that's when the winter forecast went down the tubes. So again, all you do is apologise about that. Now, I have been pondering what to do, you know, about the long range. I've been quite down about this forecast, how it turned out. I have been wondering whether it might be time to just focus on shorter range, and I've asked, you know, around what people want to do, and so many people want to carry on with the long range forecast. So I can't, although we haven't done a spring forecast, into spring updates this year, I can say we will be continuing with the long range, hopefully. So there's not going to be any summer updates for summer forecasts, because we've got a lot going on here at GavsWeatherVids Towers at the moment, and I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with them now for where that's all going. So, you know, so I'm going to be busy for the next couple of months. So no summer updates and forecasts this spring. However, I am hoping to bring the long range back in the summer. So in June, I'm hoping to be able to do the winter 2022-2023 NEO forecast. That'll probably be the first sort of longer range video that we do, and then I'm hoping we might be able to do summer updates, autumn updates through the summer. You know, in June, July, August, I'm hoping we might be able to do autumn updates through the summer. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible or not. It just depends what I need doing with my mouth. Definitely, I want to be doing updates for winter 2022-2023 from September, so that might be when the long range comes back, other than the NEO forecast. But the intention is definitely to bring back the long range. So if anybody's worrying that we've released our last long range forecast, then hell permitting, of course, I don't know what's going to happen really, but hell permitting, you know, going forwards, there will be more long range updates. There will be more long range forecasts. So just keep fingers crossed, but hell permitting and everything else coming into place, intention is to do more long range. But there won't be a summer forecast or summer updates because I am, quite tied up with a lot of stuff going on through this spring. So the idea for the long range is to bring back the long range for the summer with autumn updates, in summer for autumn updates. The first thing probably the winter 2021, 2022, 2023 NAO forecast released sometime in the summer, probably in June. Definitely want to be doing bringing back long range, have it all going again by September for the winter update for 2022, 2023. So we are having a bit of a break from a long range at the moment, but the intention, hell permitting, is to bring it all back. So I hope that sets everybody's mind at rest. I know a lot of people are quite worried, but I'm going to scrap it. And I did sort of toy with the idea that I might do, actually, but so many of you want to see it, so many of you enjoy it. So yeah, as long as people, as long as people want to see what we're doing and are enjoying what we're doing, then I'm happy to keep doing it. We may tweak things a little bit. I've spoken, with Rich about this. We may tweak the format of the winter updates and forecasts a little bit. More about that later on in the year. We don't need to worry about that now, but definitely the intention is to keep the long range going and do more long range forecasts, despite the fact that our winter 2021-2022 forecast went down the tubes. Quite spectacular. Quite spectacular. Again, all I could do is apologise for that, and these things happen. So hopefully we'll be back soon with a better long range forecast to redeem ourselves. Fingers crossed. Right, okay, so that's it for the verification. If you enjoyed this video for winter 2021-2022, if you enjoyed the video, then please can you like it, share it, subscribe it, whatnot. And yeah, no summer forecast, but hopefully we're back in business by June with the long range. And I'll keep everybody posted. But for this verification for winter 2021-2022, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.